Okay, today I program. Alright, let's see if I can get the lights set up the way that I want here. Let's dim it out just a bit. And let's do this. Nice, well planned out light set. That's something. That's something. That's something. Alright, you know what? That's gonna be good. Alright. Today is a work day. Wow, so original of me to say. First, though, I have this project open and I wanted to change the name of this. Yeah, that seems good. And then I'm just gonna do replace with oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Seems good so far. Yeah, that seems good. Let's do that. Oh, I hate it when this happens. I don't know why. I don't know why it like misaligns and it. I don't know why that happens. But let's get rid of Emacs and then relaunch it and see if that goes away. I'm in a bit of a chill mood today. Don't want to be working too hard, to be totally honest. I will be working on SVG CLJ trying to get, well, SVG, CLJ, and Forge. Trying to get that import strategy working, no problem. It's close, but not quite there yet. This has to be down here, please. Nope. I want this here. Ugh. There we go. How's everybody doing today, by the way? I hope things are going well with people. All right, let's get out of this. Let's also see if this worked. It looks good. Okay. Wait a second. Why? I thought I got rid of the shadow CLJS stuff. Okay, that's looking pretty good. But let's go here. I meant to do this. Let's also open Forge. And let's get this one going as well. Excuse me. And what I want to do here is this and this. You gotta those repels lined up there, and those repels lined up there. So for now, it's organized. We'll see if it changes. It might change, and that's just gonna have to be okay. It's also open up. Okay, so let's see here. Got to do a few things. Fix path to elements. Right. All right, I guess there's no way, no two ways about it. I gotta dig in and get this working, really. Path to elements here is kind of the ticket to getting this working the way I want. So let's figure out how to make it happen. All right. Let's make a little scratch, I guess. Play around with code here. Namespace. Scratch, that works for me. Seems good. And now let's do just trying to remember what I've all done here. Okay, this, let's do yeah, okay. Okay, that all works. Okay, good, 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 good. I also want to, just for fun here, do make an SVG CLJ logo for the README. That should be fine and fun. All right, so right. Let's just do this here. All right, so this scratch namespace, right? What I want to do is let's def sketch as slurp, and I'll just for now leave it in. Let's do users atom dev forge sketch.svg, should pull it in just fine. Yeah, that's good. And then here I want to do def sketch elements is going to be let's see, as tools. So then here I can do tools slash load SVG. sketch URL. I think that's fine. Whoop. Okay. So now we've got, hopefully, sketch elements working okay. So that is an SVG right away with all of these sort of weird namespace things, which is theoretically fine. Let's do let's see here. Utils slash, I think there's a, no. What am I looking for here? Elements, el slash, I think, oh no, never mind. Well, let's not worry too much about this. Let's just rearrange this a little bit here to be like this. So we thread this list through drop 2. Then from there we just do let me see. I'm pretty sure I have a predicate somewhere to handle if it's one of the elements or not. Maybe not. Excuse me. I suppose not. Well, I suppose there's no reason I shouldn't be able to just add like something in like well, if I do elements, namespace, something like this. Ugh. I go here and do element keys or something like that. Oop. Def element keys is a set of the keys that are valid. So we've got I guess that works okay, right? Circle, ellipse, line, polygon, polyline, rectangle, image, text, G. I'm pretty sure that's everything's. That's all of the. That's all the elements that I handle. that makes sense. Oop. Hey, Liver. Or Live R. I can't remember how to pronounce your screen name. Been a while. How are you? I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it has been a while. I've well, last month I took like an organ, the liver. Okay, good. Last month I was off streaming because I was back in Ontario and one of my sisters got married, so I'm really happy that went really well. You may have noticed I kind of switched up my stream, the room's aesthetic a little bit. It's a little nicer. I've got lights that I can play around with. If you look at this, I can change all the colors and brightness of all the lights and stuff like that, you know. So that's pretty fun. How have you been? Did I ask you that already? I might have asked you that already. I was gonna say, looks dope. Happy for you. Yeah, thank you. I wanna been busy in a good way. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Working on some cool stuff, I hope, or living your life one way or another. That's really good. Yeah, I'm happy with how the stream looks, and it's in my effort to make it a little more appealing, a little more accessible, all that good stuff, you know. So we'll see how things go. I gotta do some of the. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. There's always more to do, but anyway. All right. So I'm gonna assume that this is helpful for now. Let's I'll load file source SVG CLJ elements dot CLJC, and now I can do el / SVG element keys. It's yes, good. Yeah, almost done with an MVP of an app that I've been making for a while. Hopefully get it done in a couple of weeks. Oh, congratulations. That's very exciting. Is it did you use Clojure to write it? I don't really like whatever language anyone uses is totally fine with me, but just curious cuz you're on a Clojure, primarily a Clojure dev stream, so just curious about that. And if you can or want to share any details about the app you're working on, go right ahead. If you don't want to or can't, totally understandable. In general, I'm happy for you. That's great. That is always exciting to get some nice work done on stuff like that. It can be hard to push through, I find, so nice stuff. Nice stuff. Happy for you. Sincerely. All right. If I drop to hey, what did I just do now? Oh, okay. Here's the problem. This has to be thread last, and that'll fix that issue, right? All right, so what I'm working on today, by the way, anyone tuned in who doesn't know exactly, so I'm doing 2D and 3D development kind of simultaneously here. The 2D side of things, I basically use SVG and some SVG transforms to do sketch-based 2D modeling. I mean, it's SVG, so you can do it for vector graphics and stuff as well. But that ends up being really useful for CAD modeling in 2 dimensions. But 3D modeling, for mechanical CAD at least, uses a lot of 2-dimensional sketches that you extrude or revolve or something like that into the 3rd dimension. So I kind of have 2 libraries, SVG and Forge, which is the 3D modeling data stuff, kind of working in tandem. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that this part of my pipeline is well, better designed than it currently is and more reliable. So what am I even doing? Let me show you. I've got a show function here in the REPL. So this is a 3D render of an import of a 2D sketch that currently doesn't work correctly. Okay, so what do I even mean by that? I'll show you that. Let me do svg clj dot tools / citer show AA. Oh, something went a little bit wrong here. Nah, I went old school with PHP and JavaScript, to be honest. Okay, so no Clojure script. Nothing wrong with that at all. Totally fine. In general, what you're working on is an app that's meant to help people with recruitment. You'll be able to just put your skills, experience, and education, not worry about a CV. On top of that, I'm working to build a browser plugin that will upload the generated CV for you whenever you want to apply for a job. Wow, that's exciting. That sounds really useful. It's I wonder if some of the ideas for this stuff came along as you were trying to apply for jobs, maybe during the pandemic or something like that. That might not be it at all, but just what you're describing is like, those thoughts have crossed my mind as well. So I'm working on my own stuff right now, but I keep my eyes open on jobs and stuff like that because, you know, in case things don't work, I need to be able to not die, aka make money so that I can buy myself food and pay rent and all that goodness. So anyway, the little things the little pain points that are kind of implied by what you're saying there have crossed my mind before. Really cool. That sounds awesome. Almost. It's just that whenever I needed or wanted to apply somewhere, I was annoyed because I had to look at where I left my CV. Yeah, that's another thing too. I have to, like, every time I apply, it's like I basically just make a new one from scratch because I never remember. 1, I never update it quick enough. 2, I never remember where I put the last one. 3, I can't remember if like I had it as plain text and exported it to an HTML or a PDF, and it's a headache. So tools to help with that or remove the need for a CV altogether, I'm here for it. Well, if you're working on that stuff like in open source public repos, you can share the link in the chat if you want. I mean, if you're not doing it in the open or don't want to share, that's fine too. Just saying, you're welcome to, if you're talking about a little project, post a link to a GitHub or something like that. My chat's not a place for other people to do their own promotion, but if we're talking about relevant stuff, it's fun to give people the context, right? Basically, just don't be a jerk posting links. But I trust ya. Okay, so I did something wrong here. Okay, this almost worked, except I think I have to do this. Drop to, nope, that didn't do it. There we go. Okay. Let's make this look a little nicer. Slurp. Right, so the point, what I'm trying to show here is I'm trying to contextualize the problem I'm solving for a minute. And that is, oh, this has to go like this now. Drop 2, last, okay. Okay, there we go. So it's a little hard to see it, but this in here is an SVG path element. It has straight line segments and some Bezier curves, and it's a polygon. I'm working on an import tool that lets me take it into a 3D context. So here I have def D import this sketch, which has converted it into a 3D ready polygon, which I can, at least in theory, I can extrude that shape. So I should be able to do tools, SCAD/cider show. If I, let's say, do extrude, let's take the element D and extrude it by 20. This might break, I don't remember. Oh no, there we go. So this is extruded to a height of 20, right? But the problem is the shape is wrong. So I'm in the process of looking at my 2D SVG elements stuff to figure out why that's going wrong. And it's related to my approach of transforming a path into its list of elements and then back into a path. It makes some incorrect assumptions about closed paths. So that's what I'm working on. I will have some stuff that will be open source. I'll be happy to share it. Most of it is unfortunately proprietary. Oh, no worries. That's totally cool. Share what you want. Don't share what you don't want. I'm not fussed by it either way. Are you doing this, like, is it a personal project that you're gonna kind of turn into its own little money-making thing? Is that the idea? Or the hope, anyway? Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, well, best of luck. That should be great, hopefully. There are plenty of ways to make bits of side income like that. Just gotta know kind of what to look for and get just a little bit lucky and have just the right amount of skill and the dedication to ship a project, right? But it seems like you're well on the way. You got the right attitude about it anyway. If you're working on an MVP, that's good. I've actually considered streaming some stuff. You have to figure out my schedules. I've got work as a consultant as well. Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, I'm a little lucky right now. My schedule is fairly open, so I can dedicate a lot of time to doing streams. I think it's weird. I can dedicate a reasonable amount of time to streams, but not so much. I feel like I'm kind of wedged in a plateau with my stream. But that's another topic again. But if it's fun, I like doing it. So if you're considering it, I recommend at least giving it a try. You know, it's interesting. It's weird because you have to kind of verbalize your thought process a little more and pay attention to people talking and handle different characters of people in the chat, that sort of thing. But I really do enjoy it. It does force me to try and explain what's going on a little bit better. And I try to have a good attitude about my programming and about things with people in chat. And it's just fun to connect, you know? So I enjoy it a lot. I say go for it. If you can find the time. Because that's the other thing. You don't want to stress yourself out doing it, right? Right, so all I'm trying to do here is... Actually, do I even need to? Let me see. If I do, does this work? It does not. Yeah, I also think it helps you become more accountable and persistent, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Liver, I totally know what you mean. It's one of the reasons I keep doing it as well, you know? It does force me to program on a regular schedule and communicate and all that stuff. Hey, C, glad you're doing great. I am also doing quite great. Having a casual day today. I'm not forcing myself to work too hard. Just thinking about and slowly chipping away at the SVG import tools so that they can work more reliably in 3D. Same kind of stuff I had been working on earlier, but hoping to get it basically towards a usable solution. So that's what's up with me. You're working on data entry? Oh, okay. Well, good luck focusing on that. Hopefully that goes well. Hopefully it's not too boring for you. Data entry is not my favorite thing in the world to do. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that. Gotta go. Almost 11 p.m. here. Still have some stuff to attend to. Talk to you next time. Hey, Liver, thanks for tuning in. And best of luck on your product. And also on your consulting. I hope things go well for you. And I will hopefully see you around. Have a good one. C Films, you like data entry? Okay, well, nice. Nothing wrong with that then. Good, good, good. If you like it, you like it. Hit. Oh, my legs. Oh, boy. There we go. The data entry you're working on is for work? Okay, yeah. It's not not for your own side projects or anything like that. Remove. I think this will work. I'm not sure. Oh. This is wrong, of course. This has to be like this. And that's also still wrong, apparently. What did I do? Oh, I have to do filter, not remove. Duh. That's the opposite of what I want. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So if I do first of sketch elements, I think it'll be a G tag. Yes, okay. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, good. All right, so what I'd like to do here is right, so if I take trying to think about. This doesn't matter all that much. I'm thinking a little too hard here. Let's actually just do this. Sketch elements. Wait a second, I did something wrong. No. This is good. Okay, sketch elements is just going to be this. That's just a sequence of sketch elements. Here, I'm going to do def polygon with curves, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Polygon with curves is just gonna be I'm just gonna take sketch elements and destructure it the way I did before. It's gonna be, oh, it has to be thread last. Drop to last should work, right? No? What did I do wrong here? Oh, oops. Oh, I see what's going on here. There we go. I was in the REPL, I didn't load the new thing in there properly. I changed the definition of sketch elements and didn't reevaluate it. That's what happened. So that's fine now though. So now what I want to do is def new poly. Wait, let me see here. Poly elements is gonna be, what I want to do here is effectively wait a minute, I think I've got a random color thing in here, right? Oh, here, I'll do this. Random color, give it some element, and then you do this to it. Right, so all you do here is thread element through transform style, and that just adds a new color to it, so that should be fine. So here, poly elements, what I want to do is take polygon with curves. I want to do path to elements. Then here I want to can actually thread last this because it's fine, and I want to do map rand color over that. and I want to see if this works. Transform. Does this work? S is null. Oh, that's a slight mistake. What I have to do then is I actually want to make this be drop 2, then you grab the last, and then I just want to do the same thing. I should make some zippers here. Let's see. Let's do SVG CLJ to do make some zipper tools for get LMs to more easily grab nested SVG LMs. For example, grab only polygons from a group tag, or grab all text elements from an entire SVG, or get remove all nodes from a hiccup structure that are not SVG elements that I can manipulate from this library. Seems useful. Hey Mike. Hello all, I'm here lurking on mute because I'm in meetings all afternoon it seems, but I wanted to say hello regardless. Well, thanks Mike. If you're on mute, I'm gonna say if you're on mute, that's cool. Thanks for chatting anyway. Smile. There. Thanks, Mike. Right, polygon with curves. Let's try to do this now. It's like some abstract art piece. Mike says, always try to drop in. Working with folks in different time zones leads to lots of afternoon meetings, though, especially right now with just starting. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, they're all polylines here? Really? actually want to do, so this one's random fill, but I actually meant, what I actually want is this to be random stroke, like this, and then this one like this, and then this one I want to do map TF slash style fill none. Is that correct? Let's see. Okay. So we're arriving at the crux of the issue here. So these two, this splits, I want to merge it back into a closed thing. Oof. All right, so to do that, now I want to see def merged poly. I want to see what happens if I do apply tf slash merge is that right? It's not right. tf slash merge paths. Oh, these aren't paths, that's why. Right. Okay, so I actually need to do another thing first here. Path LMs. And I want to do this, which is, I want to map tf slash elements to path. Okay, I think ooh, okay. This is getting close to what I want. Right, so path elements is map element to path. That's different. So they both work, but it's confusingly different. So I actually should do this. And then here, I want to do, oops. Okay, so that is then different than oops. There. So the difference here is mapping this still keeps them all independent. They're all paths, but they're all independent now. So now I'm actually curious what happens if I do def closed path lm. If I kind of force this issue by doing something weird like tf slash merge paths of, hey, Echo C, sorry if I got your name wrong. Echo C, sorry if I can't get your name. Echo, how are you doing? I hope you're well. It says here you're a first-time chat from a viewer here. Not sure. It's fine. Not sure if you've been around and changed your screen name or if this is the first time you're here. Oh, welcome, welcome. What brings you to the stream? Just curiosity? I mean, it's just curiosity on my side here. Looking through Twitch for some programming streams. Oh well, welcome. If you're looking for pretty casual today, that's me for the day. I'm not working insanely fast or insanely hard, just kind of casually working through some problems and stuff. Love Vim, not sure if you're using it here. Right now, I'm in Emacs. I am not like don't run away scared or anything. I've been meaning to learn Vim and NeoVim actually for quite some time, just so I'm good at both Emacs and Vim and all that stuff. But I'm using Emacs at the moment because I'm writing in Clojure, which is a Lisp language, which a lot of people kind of recommend using Emacs, at least to start. There's a lot of great tooling for Vim for Emacs and stuff, so that's one reason I want to learn. It's just I haven't done the work to switch over, you know. That's fine. I didn't use Emacs ever, so I'm not into that war. Honestly, I'm not either. It's just a tired. It's not worth fighting over. It's like just use the tool, you know. Use whatever you want. To me, it's like fighting over what kind of notebook you write a journal in, you know. It just doesn't seem worth the trouble. Exactly. Yeah. How are the visualization tools coming along? Slow and steady, my friend. See film, slow and steady. I've been using this little visual tool in the REPL here, so you can see I can see graphical output from my model. I've got the stuff going here. So for today, for debugging purposes, that's working out just fine. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy. Well, Echo, I'm glad you tuned in. I mean, you don't feel pressured to stay if this isn't the vibe you're looking for, but thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you stay. I'd like that. Oh, so you're kind of converting some 2D SVGs into 3D. Oh, yeah. I'll give you a bit of context here. So I'm writing a few libraries in Clojure. It's a Lisp language. This here, SVG CLJ, is a library I've open sourced and I'm working on. I use it for a bunch of stuff. Mostly I'm a mechanical engineer interested in making 2D and 3D modeling tools. Here's an example website that uses my library. It's not perfect, but the idea here, you can set parameters and you can manipulate stuff, and you can write code in the browser to make the changes, right? So piggybacking off of the 2D stuff, you can make 3D models as well. And I use, well, let me So I use OpenSCAD to do 3D modeling. So I'm working on a tool that takes an SVG, imports it, and then it converts all of the shapes in the SVG into OpenSCAD models that you can then extrude and use for your 3D model things. So right now I'm debugging some of that process because so this green outline here is the shape I'm trying to import, but you can see that it doesn't match the shape that it's actually drawing here. So that's related to how I was splitting up the path and stuff like that. So I'm in the middle of working on that. But the concept, yeah, is you can have 2D SVG stuff, bring it into your 3D model, and go from there. So you can use, so instead of, let's do extrude, let's do revolve, for example. I think that'll work. And you get, it doesn't look great. It's hard to see what it's doing. But you can, there you go. So that's a revolve, right? So it's using the same 2D shape and you get different outputs for the three-dimensional stuff. So I'm a front-end dev and I recently got really interested in SVGs a lot because I'm learning advanced animations in React Native and React. I see. Well, my library isn't necessarily perfectly suited to animating. My library is a little more focused on doing transformations and stuff of the geometries, which you can do live, of course, but it's for the purposes a little bit more of making technical drawings. That being said, actually, while you're still here, I've been working on, I have this stream art example. There's a little blog post that I made where you can actually manipulate, let's see, I've got some rough samples of things. Oh, this style is wrong. One second here. Let's do this. Fill, none. Let's see. There we go. So I'm using this to make random shapes and stuff like that. Circle path. C-Films, do you do data viz a lot? No, I don't. I do more 2D, 3D modeling. So it's data visualization, not in the sense of numbers, but in the sense of this is how you design a desk, or this is how you design a truss, which is not really data viz technically. Oh, why is this not? That's interesting. Oh no, I know why. Oh yeah, here. So Echo, here's an example. So my library is not specifically for animating it or anything like that, but as you can see here, I do have some time-based animations happening, and I did use my library for that. So it does work. Stroke, line, join, round, I think. Yeah. So you do get a bit of cool stuff out of it anyway. Let me change the stroke color so it's not. There we go. But I see it actually can generate a real SVG path. That's cool. Yeah, it does generate a real path. So I want to be, so it is constantly recalculating the path. So technically speaking, it's not only SVG, right? So I'm using Clojure script, which compiles to JavaScript. Why am I pronouncing it like that? It compiles to JavaScript. So it's running code in the browser, right? Now, there's a different thing. There is SVG animate tags, which do not explicitly use JavaScript or anything. So I am not using the animate tag in this case, just to be clear. So the animate tag is a simple sort of thing where you can actually put it right in the SVG structure. Here, you put it inside the rectangle object, and then it can animate the value, the attribute that you specify. But that's different than what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is exactly like you say. based on time, it's calculating a new path. I get it. We'll definitely try it out. Yeah, go for it. So the library is undergoing changes and stuff like that. So if you're comfortable, you can, if you're using it and something totally doesn't work, you can go ahead and you can post an issue if you want. You can open up a discussion. Someone here has opened up a discussion a while ago, and that was helpful. No pressure, of course, but it's an open source library, right? So if other people are running into issues, it's nice to get feedback so that I can learn what sort of things I should really focus on. But anyway, so that's just a fun set of animations that I made, and I'm pretty happy with that. This whole site does use it technically is using React. It's not using React Native, obviously, because this is not an app, it's a web app. But this is using React, so I do know that what I've got here does work with the React sort of stuff. Admittedly through Clojure script stuff, so you know, not necessarily what you're after, but it's something. Ooh, I gotta fix that. Bumping up and down is really annoying. Anyway, pretty happy with that. It's pretty fun. It's also, so the animation, the way I've been doing this, it doesn't scale well because it just calculates everything in the browser, so it can start to chug. There are definitely more optimum ways to do a lot of that. Pretty sure there will be some of the Clojure libs for JS, and if the syntax you're using is Clojure, then it can work pretty fine. Yeah, so if you're comfortable with using Clojure or Clojure script stuff, then you'll have no real problem at all. But if you wanted to export this stuff to its own native JS sort of thing, I haven't used that use case yet. So anyway, I do wish you all the best, no matter what your strategies and plans are. This one looks kind of cool, I think. Oops. There we go. All right, so I am interested in, what am I interested in? Figuring out what went wrong here. So if I do tf/merge paths. Oh, I'm doing the same problem. This here is not poly elements, it has to be path elements like that, and that should work. So now if I do tools/cider show merged. Okay. So now what I want to try to do is make this closed path element. So I'm going to do that with tf merge paths path. Actually, I should be able to do path element, and then I'm going to make a weird path element like this that has the D key and just a Z command like that, so that if that merge works the way I am hoping it does, this should be a closed path. Kind of. Hey, Echo, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So this looks wrong. And the reason it looks wrong is because it is wrong. Let's see. How's everybody doing, by the way? If there are viewers not chatting and just tuned in and watching, thank you so much. Don't be afraid to talk in the chat if you want to. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Clojure or 2D or 3D modeling. It's just fun to chat if anyone's into that sort of thing. See films? Oh, you're almost always doing great, I think. You're always in a pretty good mood, I think. Glad that's still true today. Everyone else doing okay? All right. I'm doing my own stuff, and in the meanwhile started watching different Twitch accounts, kind of making me focus. I don't know. Yeah, well, if you're busy working and you don't want to talk, that's totally cool too. I understand it. Sometimes I'll put on like on YouTube like a really long VOD of someone just doing work or something like that, or find a Twitch streamer doing their own thing, and yeah, it can be nice. It feels like you're in like a coffee shop or in a library or something, and you're kind of just working with, not literally working with people, but working beside people. That's nice. Starting all environments now? What do you mean by that? Sorry. Starting all environments now? Open your own Twitch channel, NeoVim nerd, and working on the front end. I gotcha. Yeah. Hey, I'd say go for it. I mean, I'm a bit biased, right? I've got my own Twitch stream going on here. Compiling the React Native app in the meanwhile and starting the back end. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy streaming, and I recommend it to anyone who's even thought that they might enjoy it. I recommend at least trying it, just to see what it's like. It can be really fun to connect with people. Is this Mac OS with something like Yabai? You've got it exactly right. This is Mac OS with Yabai. I've been meaning to get a new computer to work on and do I don't know what Linux OS I would install, but I want to do a Linux-based workstation next. Because this computer is fine, but there's little things that bother me about it. But it does work, so. Using Linux on your own and Mac OS at work? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so that is one downside of Yabai. You have to partially disable one of the security features. I don't remember what. Excuse me. Yeah. There is I've tried it. It's not as good. Mac OS tiling window managers. I think it's called Amethyst, that does not have that problem. Yabai works, but I cannot switch between workspaces with the keyboard, and then it sucks. Yeah, that sucks when you can't get exactly what you need out of it. So I think Amethyst was the one I was thinking of. I've not tried Chunk WM yet, though, so. Chunk looks pretty fun, though. Anyway, I'm sure you may have heard of those yourself if you know about Yabai, but check it out. I heard Chunk window manager is pretty limited. Oh, okay, I haven't tried that one. Amethyst, it might be okay. I recommend, if you plan to switch to Linux, I recommend Manjaro, aka Arch, with i3. I actually have installed Manjaro on an old laptop before, and it was a joy to use. That is one of the things on my list. I don't know if I'll want to go with i3. Like, I might want to try a more, I don't know. It doesn't matter all that much. I mean, I've used i3 and I love it, so there's no reason to try new things necessarily. But anyway, that's the whole thing. So there's lots to choose. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, totally. You are right about that. All right, so what I want to do next here is figure out why when I join these, it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure the order of these paths has been mangled, and that's not great. So, Awesome Window Manager uses Lua. i3 uses a simple scripting language. Yeah. So there's also like BSP Window Manager I heard about, and there's a bunch. Sorry to interrupt. Let's go with the stream. Oh, so never worry about interrupting me. It's always my choice to engage or to focus. So if you want to bring something up, you go right ahead. If I really need to focus, I'll be quiet for a minute or let you know, hey, sorry if I missed some messages. I'm trying to focus. But anyway, you keep chatting. It's all good. There is no shame. That's what the stream is for some of the time, you know? So let's do tools, cider, show. I want to show a subset of oh, how do I want to do this? I forget here how this works. If I do take one, it takes from the front. So if I take two, it should say 1, 2. Yeah, okay. All right, so here I want to do tools, cider, show. Into, let's regroup it, apply. Doesn't matter, but let's do it that way. Apply a group 2, take one of path elements. Okay. I'm just seeing the order that the elements show up in. Okay, it looks like the order is preserved. Okay. So there's something else happening here. And it's related, or it feels like it's related to merge paths, which I think doesn't have the logic I need. Oops. Let's do transforms, merge paths here. All right, we've got merge paths. Merges a list of path elements together, keeping props from the last path in the list. Okay. Okay, so if I do path element like this, here's what I think is happening. I think I just basically end up concatenating all the paths together. So if I do, for example, string split the string, get in 1D from path lm. So that's this string. If I split it with the regex matching capital M. Oh, I did something wrong here. Get in. Oh, did I Mix up the order of operations. Yes, I did. Or the order of arguments, I mean. There we go, that's what I meant to do. Alright. I have to do path element first, of course, because it's get in the path element in these locations. I did it the other way around. Okay, so if I count the result, it should be 5, I think. 6. Oh, right, because, no. There's something erroneous happening here. Peculiar. Okay, well, let me think about this for a minute. Remove nil, mapcat, clean commands, partition 2-1, rest of commands, first commands. Conj, first of commands. Right, so the idea of the clean command. Oh, maybe this is what I need to do. Let's see if, let me see if I was actually onto something here. It's possible. But we want to do xf dash commands like this. All right, let's try that and see what happens. Let's load file, source, SVG CLJ, transforms CLJC. Right, now we go back here. Let's redo redefine path element. Tools, cider show, path element, closed path element is what I want to show. Yes! Okay. We are stepping in the right direction. That's exciting. Okay, so if I were to do this string split again, get in closed path element. If I count that, it should be 1. It's 2. I don't know why it's 2. Oh, wait. I'm almost I'm almost where I need to be. Well, okay, let's do first of that result is empty. And then let's do second of that result is the whole thing. Okay, so it's splitting on M and returning. Oh boy, excuse me. Right, it's splitting on M, so it hits M and it'll get rid of the M and return whatever remains prior to it. So it was an empty string before. So it being 2 it's fine. That's what I needed it to be. All right, so that's a big ol' step in the right direction. All right, let me do one of these handy dandy Sessman restart situations. Alright, I got another probably half hour on my stream here. Don't have all day here, so got other things I need to do today. Alright. Also a little distracted today. That's just gonna have to be okay. Alright, let's see if I reload this namespace now, if I can get a better result with this. Yes, okay. That is the right shape. Yes, okay. That is really good. Now, the next set of things to work on right. Now I need to work on let's do this. Wait for Inkscape to open. I'll be right back. Gotta go to the washroom. It won't be long though. All right. The screen is very bright. No, I want to do this. And I want to do Command K, merges them together. Oops, I have to do Command Save. Now, let me reload this. I think this might not work. Oops, wrong one. But we'll see what happens. Oh wow, it worked. Alright, we are heading in the right direction. Absolutely feeling good about this. Oh man. Okay. Let me try to run all of this again. this one. Okay, so it's almost right, but not quite. Wait a second, is that right? Closed path element. I want to tf/style this thing though with stroke blue. It's almost correct. It's not quite what I need it to be. Wait, let me do this. Let's do that string split thing for a second here. String split. Three. Yes, okay. So what's happening here it's close to working, but it's not quite right. Let me make a little note in tasks here. I need to do now this to do fix merge paths. There are situations where actually, let me think about this for a second. Let's see what poly elements actually looks like here. It's assuming these are open again. Why would that be? Because they should be. Oh man, this is a little bit not what I want. Let's see, how do I handle this? No, okay, so fix it's not a problem with merge paths. The problem I'm having is this: both splitting these into poly lines is actually fine, except that they should be poly. They should. What am I saying? When a given subsection of a path is closed, all of its constituent parts should be grouped so that they can be closed when you merge it again later. That's the problem I'm trying to handle. And I don't know. In general, there are a few different situations. One, a path has several disconnected subpaths. A subpath may be closed or open. A subpath may be built up from different curve types. Example, straight segments, arches, arcs, and Beziers are all valid inside a single subpath. Okay, and any of these combinations can be true. Any combination of these can be true. Right, so oh, I'm trying to think of the situation that I have here where you can split things up into different paths. You can even close them all. Like I could figure out a grouping strategy. The thing is though, I want to maintain the, well, do I want to maintain it? There's this situation here where if I put a fill on these, the fill is not a beautiful color, but there we go, that's kind of better. The fill here, it's even odd, so it looks like there's a hole in the shape, which is what I want. But here you lose that connection by default, so I want to have some a subpath may be fully inside another, fully enclosed by a closed subpath may be fully enclosed within another closed subpath. Making a whole. And then any of these, or all of these, can appear within one path string. Okay, so splitting basically, so order and logic of operations matters here to prevent loss of data. What am I saying? So I have to first split a path string into use M as marker. Split, well then, for each subpath, what should I call this? Path combine and break apart. Let's so I have to do things in this order. Split a path string into subpaths. Right. Let's call this. This is equivalent to break apart in Inkscape. Then for each subpath, let's see here. Oops, I'm in there we go. For each subpath inside of there, so I split the paths with M, the M command, because that is effectively how things are marked to be split. Let me double check that logic. Let's go open up forge sketch.svg. Oh, this is a big long. All right, so there's M there. Well, let's just do. Let's do cool. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's do M space with M new line character. Oh, no. I literally typed in a new line character, but anyway, it doesn't actually matter. I also, so I've already discovered what I needed to discover in this case. This is the Inkscape file describing this. Inside here, the whole logic I'm looking to confirm here is that I can split using capital M as the indicator. That will give me two subpaths, right? Then each of those subpaths has a Z at the end, which indicates that they are both closed, which in this case is exactly what I expected. So for each subpath, for each subpath convert that subpath into a group of its constituent elements if the subpath ends in Z, it is closed. So you need to add an extra line element to visually close the path. See, I don't know if I like that technically, but I'm gonna go with it for now because that kind of makes sense. So that what I'm describing here is to prevent this situation. So if I look at, and this is small, I should maybe, well, first of all, let's go close that, kill it anyway. I wonder if I can just zoom it. G style scale. No, I have to do transform scale 4 3, sure. I think that might work. It did not. Well, let's try one more thing. TF/style. Path element, maybe? Oh, the scale worked, kind of. Anyway, I'm wasting time technically. Right, so this point here, for each subpath, convert the subpath into a group of its constituent elements. What that means is converting sections of straight line segments into polylines, curve segments into approximated curves with as polyline segments as well. And that's basically it. It's almost all polylines. Then only if the original shape was closed with the Z, then I theoretically want to add one more line segment, one more polyline from the last point of the last subpath to the first point of the first subpath. note. Then to check if a group of elements was a closed path, check the last element if its points are equal to the very first point and very last point of the first and last subpath. This is confusing, but I understand it, at least right now. Are equal to first subpaths and last subpaths. There we go. It's a little easier. Okay. So those two things, first group creates groups of, no, sorry. Yeah, doing those two things will result in a sequence of subpath groups. So it's a sequence of sequences. Let me write a little note to myself here. Result a list of subpaths as path strings. Right. Then here, once you do this, result is a list of lists of elements, most of which will be, no, that's, that I don't need to confuse that. A list of lists of elements. Yes. Lists can be of length 1 and will be in the cases in cases of circles, rects, etc. Right. So at this stage, you've got a list of lists of elements. Now here, okay, subpath may be closed or open. It doesn't matter because I have a way, if I add a closing path element to the end, or to the list of, like, if I manually add an extra element to visually close the path, I can use that as a heuristic, or not a heuristic, I can use that to logically check if the original path it was all derived from was closed. I could alternatively, instead of computing it from the elements, I could sneak a tag somewhere, like a flag in a group map, in the group map or something like that. But I don't know that I want to do that, because I don't want to leave that in a, like, some random internal flag in there. I could use metadata maybe, but let's not worry about that implementation detail yet. So both of these two facts will be handled no problem with the path to elements function that is already covered. And then all of that can be, yeah, so that should theoretically be fine. So 3 well, recursively group, well, I don't need to recursively group everything. Group everything. This means a group of groups of elements. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, okay, so I think actually basically the biggest change I have to do to what I've already done is this here. If the subpath ends in a Z, it's a closed subpath. So I need to add an extra line element to visually close the path. I think that's pretty much the only thing I need to do differently as a start. And then I can add some merge path logic to check for that kind of situation and appropriately close the resulting merged path. I think that'll work. I think that will solve the problem. So I have to go soon, but I'm gonna see if I can at the very least get this to render with an extra closing path line there. That's basically all I want. So poly elements, if I open up Scratch here, is derived exactly from, excuse me, so I get the polygon from, so I'm getting this polygon from the file here. And I'm just turning path into elements, so that's what I need to modify. So I need to go path to elements, which is where here. Okay. Hey, resist 56K. Yay, Clojure indeed. How are you doing? I see your first time chatter here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I I've been using Clojure for a bit. Almost, it's basically the only language I use on my stream. So glad that you enjoy Clojure. Do you program in Clojure yourself? I'm going to assume you probably do at least a little bit if you're saying yay Clojure. All right. Just started again? Oh yeah, nice. So again, that I guess you had been doing it for a little bit and then put it down for some reason and are just getting back into it now? Well, that's exciting. That is exciting. I'm gonna let this distract me. This is technically irrelevant to what I'm actually working on at the moment. It's just there for no real reason. Okay, so here I'm going to remove this break polys thing to keep the function a bit simpler. Actually, no, I am going to keep it. I'll keep it. It's fine. I don't know that it's a good idea, but I'll keep it for now. Right, so what happens here is you break the list of commands into their groups, then you remove any commands that are M or Z. Do I actually want to do that though? That's the thing. This should be remove M, and then this should be map combine. I don't know that that'll actually work completely. It might be wrong, but let's try it. I have to go soon, so this is the thing. I probably won't have a lot of time to really try this out, but let's go with it. Better than nothing. Let's load file, source SVG CLJ, transforms.cljc. Okay, now we redefine polyelements and see if it works. It didn't work. Well, it's empty. That's no good. That's obviously not helpful. Okay, so partition by command. So the sequence of commands is now a sequence of sequences of commands. From this, I remove any sequence of sequences that are just the M command. Then, oh yeah, no, I do need to do this. Yeah, okay, let's load this again. Give it one more try. Oh, that's, let me re-roll those colors. Okay, so here, this is why it's not quite right. Because it is correctly keeping the Z element, except that it's just tagging the Z element onto the last polyline. But that's not what, in fact, what I want, right? What I want instead is what I want instead is I need to recursively run this. Oh, see, and this works fine for this part. See this other thing? The other inner part is closed correctly because there is only one element in the whole thing. So it's correct by accident. It's not right logically. I need to wait. Maybe I can turn this combine Z into maybe this function can be the logic that adds that extra line command like I wanted to. I think that is exactly right. So when you've got this, you don't concatenate anything actually. You always return the first element, otherwise you concatenate the last element on, and that's good. Good to go. But instead of concatenating the Z on there, you want to return shoot. Okay, let me add a little note to myself here. Note, can I use combine Z not to add the Z command onto the last LM in the list? Because that is wrong. It incorrectly closes just the last element, not the group of elements that need to be closed. Instead, can I use this to add a closing poly line to the list? Right, so I think I can. So instead of this, right, instead of concat CSA to CSB, I could, so this is going to be, this is still wrong. Still wrong, but maybe helpful. If I do this, instead of concat CSA, so instead of adding the Z command onto there, I actually want to assoc into no, this won't work. Hey, Memish, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I hope that you're doing well. And yeah, thanks for popping in on the stream. I appreciate that. No, this won't work because I need to know the starting point in order for this to actually work. So this is not right. So let me undo this and get rid of this note as well because it's not the right approach yet. So whoop. For anyone who's just tuned in, what I'm working on is trying to properly handle different cases of path elements of SVGs, breaking them up and regrouping them later on into different elements and stuff like that. That's important for the goal of mine of using the SVG 2D stuff to create sketches for the 3D animating, or not animating, modeling of well, 3D models. What am I talking about? Hey, I used to try and learn Lisp. You're trying to learn Lisp now? How's that going? What Lisp are you working on, Memish? I hope it goes well. It can be kind of tricky initially, but I'd say stick with it. It's very worth it, in my opinion. I'm using Clojure. Not sure if you're familiar with that specifically. It's a modern Lisp. It's always a good one to be trying out. Let's see here. Clojure.org. Clojure. It's a good language. Hope you might be familiar with it. I don't know. Right. Did I say welcome to the chat, Memish, by the way? Your first time viewer, I think. Nice to have you here. Okay, let me think about this just slightly differently. Yes, I did say welcome. Okay, good. Just double checking. You're not using Clojure anymore or learning Lisp anymore. I gave up, but I will try to turn back to it. I think I was trying Common Lisp. Oh, okay. Well, I also tried Common Lisp a little bit, and then I switched to Clojure. They both have their tricks, like getting the environment set up to properly learn them can be a bit of a pain, unfortunately. Let's see. Starting Clojure. Let's see if they're like, if there's a good place for Clojure to start. Getting started with Clojure. with Canva is not a bad approach. Anyway, I am not in a place to give a good set of advice at the moment, but I mean, if you have the patience for it, it's worth learning whatever Lisp language. I think it's a good endeavor to undertake. Okay, I am gonna go very soon, but I want to just try wrap this up into something a little bit nicer. And that is something like this. Let's let the P function and let's let C function be Yeah, I enjoyed learning it. Thanks for the suggestions. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. All right, I'm just looking at the time and I'm looking at how slow this progress has been. I am going to call it for the day. Yeah, at least what's really helpful is it doesn't look like much maybe, but I wrote this note here understanding what I need to fix. And why. So that is extremely helpful for me. Basically, I just need to just check that any subpath with a Z at the end is properly given a closing polyline. Then add logic to merge paths to check if points coincide, then you can close the resulting merged path appropriately. There we go. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in and listening and coding with me if you're programming in the background. Thanks for chatting. Those who chatted, I always appreciate that. If you're just tuned in and watching, that's totally cool too. I love it. It's always fantastic. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. So I'll be streaming again a bit tomorrow. Probably gonna be even shorter tomorrow because I'm going camping. And I want to give myself enough time to prep so that I don't forget anything. It's already Friday in your time zone. Oh, well, happy Friday to you then. I don't want to rush my time of things yet, so I've still got to do a workout and spend some time with friends tonight yet on Thursday, and then Friday camping. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, I will be back tomorrow streaming for a little bit, and then I'll be back again on Monday streaming. So if you're new, I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are my usual stream times. Feel free to pop in whenever you have a chance. I always appreciate it. All right, that's enough chit chat. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.